Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. So please note that my camera, for whatever reason, okay, I think this is better, disconnected, and it's taking me a minute to reconnect it back. So I'm on the computer camera today, and it sucks because I really like my Sony camera. Welcome, everybody. I'm letting the people get in here. Did you, Sparks, watch the I just watched TMZ's video addressing the issue. They are basically doubling down on what they have said. We're gonna talk about that. I froze it right where it was at. I can't really I can't really watch their video too much because it's like, they do like this talk and chat podcast, like in real life, in real time, I guess. We live now. So like while they're ordering lunch, they're talking about Celeste Rivas. While they're talking about the turkey truck that's outside of their business or whatever, they're talking about Celeste Rivas. I'm like, y'all, uh, just do what you got to do. It's really weird because it's supposed to be kind of like a newsroom, but like it's kind of giving like podcast newsroom type of field. And I cannot. All right. So now everything's like all over the place. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Everybody want to call me when I'm live. Welcome. You can't stand their channel. Well, all right. Well, we're going to get into it. I'm letting people get in here. Let me share this live while we wait. Y'all, you guys know it's like the holiday. People are coming and going, and you're going to hear all kinds of noise. So I apologize. We live now. Let me let the people know that we're live. A couple stories cases that I want to talk about before we get into D4VD, which I know, and Ashless Buzzard is going to take us probably a good portion of this live between those two. We're going to talk about both. That's my goal today. So it's going to be a bit of a longer live. Hold up, y'all. See, and I closed down my Discord too and everything. Having everything arranged, and now I have to rearrange everything because I had the camera. I don't know. It just disconnected from StreamYard. All right, hurry up, Discord, and open up. Guys, make sure you guys are hitting the like button, hyping. I never tell people enough to hit the like button. That would be really appreciated. Make sure you guys are supporting the channel, everyone. We live now. Come on over. Thank you. Shout out to everybody. All right, we about to get started. Thank you. Shout out to everybody. All right, so let's start with some of the things that we have on our agenda that probably are a little bit shorter. Anna Kepner, the young girl who was, well, officially it's been ruled a homicide, out of a Carnival cruise, or what is it? Carnival Horizon. I think that's, or Horizon, not Horizon, Horizon. Carnival Horizon is literally, we just got an update about her death, like in the last 24 hours being ruled a homicide, and her stepbrother specifically being the sole suspect, right? 16-year-old. Grandparents just did an interview yesterday. I talked a little bit about it, honestly, and it's a situation where it's like, I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about that interview. It's very, very off in terms of like, well, they're considering, he's a grandchild, right? The 16-year-old. They don't know exactly what happened. They want to be understanding of that. Whatever the law does, that's what it does. They want to, remember, of course, Anna, and this is a grieving family. Please, I don't take that away. But it's almost like there was this rumor, or at least allegations that were made by the ex-boyfriend and ex-boyfriend dad about this stepbrother being very inappropriate towards Anna. And immediately they were like, well, he loved her the right way, whatever the hell that means. Whatever the right way means, that's how he loved her. That's what the stepbrother says. I don't know. So her death has been ruled a homicide. And so far, what we know is that the stepbrother is the sole suspect. They have cremated her. I believe it was yesterday. There were services and whatnot, so they have cremated her. Yeah, I don't know what that means. That's what I was like. I don't understand what that means. That's what they said. There was other relatives that are speaking out that are saying, well, he was kind of like obsessed with her and whatnot. So please note that. So I'm like, I don't know what else to say. Um, yeah, that's what's been reported about that situation. We're going to keep covering it, of course. Stepmom specifically, her name is Chantel. She has placed a hold on the documents, which makes sense, right? Like there's all this media interest in this case. They are going to definitely probably put some holds in those documents to make sure that, nobody gets a hold of them and whatnot. So there's probably going to be a lot of sealing of documents. And to a certain degree, rightfully so, he's 16, right? But there's a lot of like unknowns and different things that people have as far as questions that people want answers to. So let me know what you guys think in the comments as the story is developing. We're gonna definitely keep covering it. Lord have mercy. Give me 1 second. I have people knocking. I'm like, I have people knocking and I'm working, y'all. I'm working. People are doing too much. A case that attracted my attention. Now, I was live when I heard about this. I'm not too familiar with this artist. And again, I'm not. What struck me is the way in which this tragedy has happened. She's on my thumbnail right now, and I want to do a deeper dive into this, okay? Now, when I heard about what happened to this young woman by the name of Maria de la Rosa, who's a singer, okay? I've never heard of her music. I think she's kind of like up and coming, right? Fairly new. Never heard of her music. Please note that. It's kind of like one of those things where kind of like D4VD. Never heard of D4VD until this case, right? That's kind of how I feel about this. So I came across this and I said, wait a minute. She was shot, ambush. And when I hear that, especially in, like being a Latina myself, immediately my mind went to, oh, this sounds like a cartel hit. Sounds like a cartel hit, right? Ambush shot, that kind of situation. I mean, new details have come about this situation. Very pretty, 22 years old. Okay. Let me give you guys a quick little rundown of this young woman. So her name is Maria de la Rosa. She was 22 years old. And she was a up and coming Latin singer known professionally as De La Rosa. Okay. She released a song in August 2025, No Me Llames, Don't Call Me. I've not heard of the song. I got to listen to her music to kind of get a vibe. She had a fairly large Instagram following. It's about 40,000 followers. And from her recent posts, it indicates that she was working on music. Okay. So she was tragically killed in an ambush styled shooting in Los Angeles, Northridge, on the 22nd. Was that Saturday? Yeah, that was on Saturday. So this is what we have so far, that police say that two men approached her in a parked car and they just opened fire. Okay. The motive remains unclear and nobody's been arrested at the time of this reporting. Um, her mother has spoken out, basically saying that she wanted to help everyone. She was a really good person, really young, up and coming artist, young woman, and really looking forward to her life. It looks like that her Spotify listens, like that's where people got to her music, is in her Spotify, right? But she was really, really taking music to a whole different era. And I'm telling you, and now it's coming about that some investigators are reporting that this was like a gang style type of shooting, although this is the rumor. There's nothing confirmed quite yet, right? She succumbed to her injuries and the motive just remains unknown. The only two things I can honestly think about at this point is when it happens like this, right? Gang, cartel, jealous boyfriend, that type of situation. She's from Los Angeles. So I want to do a deeper dive. I don't know her enough. So when I heard, and I'm like, it's very like there's not a lot of information about her. So I'm like, let me reach out to some people. I want to know a little bit about her. Young, 22 years old, vibrant, beautiful, gorgeous girl, up and coming. Yeah, I don't know too much. So I put it on my title because I want to tell y'all I want to look into it a little bit more. What led to it, what her dealings were, the last conversations, different things and whatnot that I think are important to say. If you want to stay alive, look like we need to stay in the hell out of Cali. Oh my goodness. I mean, did she make somebody mad? Music, and I haven't listened to her music. Are there any subliminals in her music? Are there any, shots fired in her music? Latina women in music, in the music industry, it is a very scary place, right? Especially if you're singing about, cartel, gangs, or anything like that, because it's like you kind of have a bit of a target on your back. So you do have to be careful as a Latina when you're singing about anything like that. And so I have to kind of wonder what did it look like? Was it love songs? What was it? And it was very targeted if it was just the bullets were just for her as she was just getting into her car. Yeah, I'm looking, and I think you can find her music on Spotify. Now, I think that the reason why a lot of this made it to the news is because let me see. I'm looking at the neighborhood, like where was she at? She's in a parked car, right? Fatally shot inside of her car around 1:25 a.m. Saturday. So far, no suspects have been identified. Okay. Several prominent figures in the Latin music industry left messages grieving for the young musician's sudden death. This is what I'm saying. It's like I don't know her. I don't know her music. So I do wonder, where she was at, what she was singing about. There's a lot of up and coming, up and coming artists that, get into the music, but you kind of have you gotta be careful. It's like some of you guys may not know, but like Jenny Rivera is one that I kind of grew up listening to as well. Jenny Rivera died in 2012 in a airplane crash, and there's been so many conspiracies and controversial situations. It's almost going to be several years since her death, because she died. I think it was like December 15th or something like that. You said my postings are they getting deleted? Jazzy, I haven't seen anybody delete your messages. Okay. So I do wonder what's up with that. You said I'm in the area all the time and my daughter playing travel ball. We had to hide. Okay. So let me look into it a little bit more. I want to see what's up, but I need to listen to her music to maybe understand a little bit more about the situation. You said you should cover that too. Yeah, I'm curious. I just don't see anybody talking about it. Um, but people are talking about her producer Juan Moses. So it's a different generation of music. Clearly, I think she's more of a Gen Z. That's why I don't know a lot of her music, but I'll look into it a little bit more. People have to be a little bit careful. Let me check something real quick. I want to see if TMZ is still live. Hold up. I think their live is over. Nope, they're still live. Hold up. Hurry up. Hold up, y'all. He's coughing in the mic. Okay, I did freeze it on a timestamp. I just have to be careful. So we're going to cover this story for sure. I just need to find more information about it. We're going to go into, let's get into Ashless Buzzard and Tyler. So we're going to get into that because we're going to spend a good amount of time there, but we're also going to talk about D4VD. I kind of want to wait for TMZ to be done with their live so I can talk about what they are talking about. It's going to take a minute because they're still live. So this is going to give us some time. Ashless Buzzard. Mama, who drove across, I don't know, multiple states, rented a car, hiding her child's wearing a wig, she's wearing a wig, picks up some charges from Tyler. This is Tyler, who initially was refusing to speak to media, is now speaking to media. Apparently, Tyler is like a paralegal. Ashley, so he goes and he presses charges on Ashley. All right. And there's a hearing, there's a recording. Ashley Buzzard basically exposes Tyler for basically saying, well, I didn't hold him against his will. The recording says something different. Tyler's giving interviews now. Now, please note this. Tyler, I've been very careful talking about Tyler because he's like a paralegal and, you know, he does process servers and stuff like that. And he's been sending C&Ds to like bloggers. Yeah, I don't know, Tiff, because that recording that they played in the court hearing when, you know, they're talking about, you know, the threats with the box cutter and all this other stuff, mom, you know, being off the wall. And I have not watched this. That's why I wanted to react to this with you guys. I don't know what to believe. And the guy is like sending C&Ds to bloggers. He didn't want to do no media, you know, interviews, and fine. I was like, fine, don't do media interviews as long as you're giving information to law enforcement, right? Cool. Don't cooperate. Like, that's not, you know, F the media when it comes to this. Go and talk to law enforcement. If you know where this little girl is at that's been missing and mom took her across, you know, state lines wearing wigs. And for those that are like, who are we talking about? This is what we're talking about. We've covered this case here. Oh my God, all these ads. Okay. Melodee Buzzard and Ashless Buzzard. Bizarre situation and whatnot. Okay. I have not watched this. I'm here for it. I want to see it. I want to see what this situation looks like. Okay. So I figured we would react to it together. So here's Ashley Banfield interviewing, dropping this exclusive. And this is, I guess, Tyler, the man that pressed charges against Ashley.
Yes, ma'am. It's actually, you know, the whole events with Ashley is one giant blur of craziness. I don't know of any other way to explain it. In short, you know, she ended up going on a road trip at the instructions of individuals that she barely even knows, and I question if she even knows them really at all, in efforts to drop Melodee off with them, apparently some location in Utah. She had said that it was a couple that she met at a zoo. This couple had a daughter that's Melodee's age that she wanted Melodee to be able to play with.
So Tyler is exposing what Ashley told him, that he dropped Melodee at a zoo. Is that what he said? He dropped her at a zoo with like a couple? But Ashley, okay, let's play devil's advocate here. Ashley's the one that produced the recording to the court, right? Very easy for her to chop it up and, you know, screw it up and do different things. Because, I mean, the court's not going to, like, they're not bringing a forensic person to figure out what this recording says, right? There could have been a lot more action in this situation, confrontation between two of them. But is that what he's saying? And somehow the recording didn't capture that? Right? Like Ashley and Tyler, that whole recording was not captured in there. Like, this piece of information in that 4 minutes was not captured in there.
But she doesn't know these people's names, their address, their phone number, their location, nothing. It's bizarre. It makes no sense.
It particularly makes no sense that Ashless Buzzard would say, I don't know this couple that I met at the zoo. I don't know their names. I don't know their address. I don't know their contact information, when apparently she was making contact with them. And can you describe what she said about the contact she made with them and how the plan kept changing about the drop-off of Melodee?
You know, she wouldn't go into too much details because she was very paranoid that the house is bugged, and she still wasn't really trusting me that much, as we discovered on that Thursday that she decided to confront me, or whatever you would want to call it. She didn't make it clear of how she communicated, especially when she was saying she didn't have accurate phone numbers for them. She also didn't make it clear. She said that she knew the woman's name of the couple, and that she looked on white pages and verified that there was someone by that name listed on the white pages. Okay, well, if someone's called John Doe, you know, there's probably 20 John Does throughout the nation. So it's the fact that she trusted and believed some stranger that she randomly met at a zoo to care for her daughter, and trusted what she said was true without checking ID, without checking where she lives, without going to the house, without verifying where Melodee was going to be sleeping. It's just mind-boggling for me. And
well, to say the least. without getting a contact phone number to call her back. And again, I'm still perplexed by the details, Mr. Brewer, about, and I think, you correct me if I'm wrong here, that Ashley Buzzard said to you that this woman kept changing the drop-off details, kept changing the plan. Is that true?
Exactly. And that's why she ended up in Nebraska and all these different places.
Okay. She kept changing the locations, and this is why Ashley was driving with Melodee all over the different states. Y'all, does that, like, I'm gonna do a poll because I know some people look, I see Chico's like, why would he lie? Okay, that's a good point. What would he gain from lying? But also there was a recording. The recording could have been chopped up and screwed by Melodee, right? Some people say, well, he's not credible anymore. Because I even feel like, I don't know about this guy. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm still on the fence. Honestly. I go back to, and I told you guys before when I first started covering, and I said, I still talk about that person who came in was like, this is clickbait. She did not traffic her daughter. At this point, y'all, what happened to this child? And I'm going to be honest with you. When it comes to coverage and media on stories like this, unless there's a breaking news at some point, things kind of die down. So I do wonder if it's going to lose traction over, the attention that it's getting. Okay. The court's not doing anything. Nobody's charging her with anything. Nobody said any, there's nothing. She's not being made to produce her child like Lori Vallow was within a time frame. So what are we doing here? What are we doing? That's the question.
Because they kept changing, was like, oh, no, meet us here, no, meet us here. Then meet us maybe Utah, wherever she ended up last with Melodee was the final drop off. So they kept changing it because apparently this couple, this individual, this whoever was paranoid of the government and being followed and spied on. So they wanted to make sure that if Ashley was being tracked, then it would be harder for them to be tracked, changing all these different locations. And I know how weird and bizarre this sounds, but this is just the information that I was provided. And whether it's true or not, this is what she relayed to me.
I mean, that's a whole other question, whether what she told you is true. It sounds so manic. And also, how is she communicating with a woman multiple times to change drop-off locations if she suddenly says, I have no means of communicating with said woman?
And she said that she originally had a phone number for them and she no longer has it because they ended up either disconnecting it or it was a text now number or something similar.
Oh, shit.
And she was told that when she got home, Melodee would start calling her. And it's been, 45, 50 days and still no phone call as of November 6th.
And that was the plan. To be clear that this couple, again, that Ashley Buzzard told you she met them at a zoo and made this plan to drop her 9-year-old daughter off with them, and that they'd have a daily contact with Melodee. Did she say why? What was the whole purpose of getting rid of her daughter to this mystery couple in the first place?
Exactly.
Without going into too much detail with her medical history, she had an outpatient, so she has a surgery coming up. And the surgery, after she told me what it is, it's an outpatient surgery that you're going to be out for the day. It's nothing. But in her mind, it's something that Melodee needs to be away from her for at least a month or two, an effort for Ashley to do the surgeries, the medical care, and get back on her feet so she could take care of Melodee.
What? Girl, what? So she had... Man, even that close-up does not look good. That's the question. I think, Vicky, that they were friends. Some people are saying that they dated. I'm not even sure. But so then what happened is that he pressed charges against her for, I guess, false imprisonment. And he alleged that there was a box cutter, right? And then when she recorded the whole interaction and played it in court, and it turns out that it wasn't even that. It was something she didn't hold him against his will. So that's why credibility are well, that's not what the recording says. But also, please note, we don't know if she altered the recording. There's too many different layers to this. I don't know, man.
So her excuse for it just makes no sense either. Because again, the medical procedure in which she's claiming that she needs to have done, it's an outpatient surgery that, I've had done myself. So it's not something that she needs to be out for a month for.
And she admitted to you that she was changing her license plates all along the route.
Wait, what procedure is that? He doesn't even say it.
To this drop off of her daughter with this couple.
You know, the thing about that is I had brought up something about the license plate because I had seen the report. And my license plates, I was trying not to let it in public, but they decided to announce in the middle of court that my license plates is from Oklahoma. So I go back and forth between California and Oklahoma. So I had said, you know, oh, California is required to have 2 plates, one in the front, one in the back. I go, I'm surprised I haven't got pulled over yet. So she went on to tell me about this website I can go on to order fake plates that look real so I can switch them out without being noticed.
What? Because isn't that like a whole ass, I'm pretty sure. Let me see. What kind of a crime is it to switch plates? I guess every state's going to be different on a car. Switching plates. You could be charged with a misdemeanor or even a felony, depending on the circumstances of local laws. The crime involves the unlawful use, removal, or misrepresentation of registration plates to conceal a vehicle's identity can lead to fines, imprisonment, and both. So she was traveling across state lines doing all that. When was she to what, and why is it she held for any of this? I don't know.
So she informed you how to switch plates, but did she also confirm that she had switched her plates on that trip?
Yeah, she even mentioned that she has done it in the past. She didn't specify it was for that trip. But she had said her friend had told her about it, which she was applying, referring to the friend that has Melodee.
Okay, so there's another report, and I'm hoping you can corroborate this. There was a report from a private investigator who said that Ashless Buzzard had been cutting the faces of Melodee out of the missing persons posters, and you had been inside her home. What did you witness in her home?
So she didn't cut the faces out. So I mean, that was either a miscommunication. So she took the photos out of the missing persons photo, the poster boards that people made, and she has them lined on her couch. They're all on her couch, and then she has a body pillow with Melodee's hoodie and pants on it, like dressed like Melodee, and that's what's on her couch. So she basically has like a little shrine to Melodee on her couch.
And the photos, you're saying she lifted the photos off of the missing persons poster so that she could arrange those things on her sofa?
Yeah, what you're showing now, that's what she did. She ripped those down and they're all on her sofa.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
But she didn't.
Okay, this is her missing child, y'all. Like, just so people, like, what? When I saw that footage of her tearing down the posters, I was like, what is this all about? She clearly knows that her child's not missing. She knows the location. Now, has she talked to her child? That's the question. And why isn't the people that are holding Melodee, why aren't they giving up the child? I don't get, this is like gone international at this point. You got people reporting on this situation all over the world. So why haven't those people spoken out? I have a question about that.
Cut them as if to deface them. She wanted the pictures off of those boards.
Correct, yes, ma'am. Yeah, no, they were not to be defacing.
And they're lined up on her sofa?
Lined up on her sofa, yes, ma'am.
And again, next to a body pillow that is dressed in Melodee's clothing?
Yes, it's one of those pillows that you put behind your back. So it's not the long body pillows, but it's one that goes behind your back, and it has Melodee's orange hoodie on it. And at one point in time, it had like a pair of pants on it. It was very strange. And I asked her like why she has the hoodie on the pillow, and she said it's because she misses Melodee.
I mean, I don't even know what to say about that.
You know, and
there was, I remember on the, go ahead.
I'm sorry, because I spoke to other people too, and they had told me that sounds like a shrine or memorial that people do. And when I was sitting there, you know, that didn't cross my mind. I didn't even think that initially, but now looking back on it, it's extremely creepy and concerning. And I apologize for interrupting. There's a lag.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, to say the least, it is extremely disconcerting that she's dressed a pillow up as her daughter while her daughter's missing, and she refuses to say anything to authorities. Speaking of the authorities, this is a key aspect because,
you know, running away from the paternal side was trying to get custody, right? That's the other part to this too. Her being afraid. Now, if she needed a surgery, she couldn't even trust her own family to leave the child. Let's just say that that's the case, right? Surgery for what? We don't even know. He's talking about how, you know, she wouldn't have been gone for that long if it would have been like an outpatient 1-day type of surgery. He's not really saying what kind of surgery. But guys, here's the sketchiness of Tyler. Let me put it out there. And I don't know if Tyler's watching all these videos. Sir, why are you sending cease and desist to bloggers? That's what I want to know. And you didn't want to talk to media. People respected that because it's like, well, as long as you're cooperating with law enforcement, but now you're wanting to get all this out, which is fine, great. But why are you sending CNDs to bloggers? That's what I don't get. Did they do something? Did they say something? Now you're up on like national, international television. So like all of that is like, well, people can say whatever the hell they want to about you. They can question you. A lot of people in my chat are finding you very sketch. I don't know, man. I don't know.
The audio tape that was released in court was a little confusing to most people who listened to it because
I
she was
don't even
getting angry
know.
at you for what she said was being deceitful. And I wondered if it's because the police had been discussing things with you. Can you straighten the record out about what contact you had with the police and why you had contact with the police?
Yeah, so when I first went over there, I reached out to her because I've known her years ago. So when I first went over there, it was because I thought she had a family law issue that was about to happen. So I thought, because she has another daughter that was taken away from her, and Melodee has been taken away from her in the past. So I thought it was going to be a family law issue.
She's had another daughter that's been taken away from her. I did not know that piece of information. That's new. What does it? I'm gonna pull it up. I think I have a screenshot of it because I took it from a Facebook group. I'll let you all know in a little bit when I find it. I didn't know that there was another child that was taken away from her custody. So where is that child? That's a first to me. I had I thought Melodee was her only child. I had no idea. Her other daughter is Destiny, 22 years old. Ah, okay. That's interesting. It's typed up, Vicky. It's typed up. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I think I took a screenshot off of it. Let's get into this. Let me see if I can find it.
Where she might need help with some document preparation or something. So that's what I thought when I originally went over there. She had me come over on the second day. And after I left, I was pulled over by a detective. And he basically, told me that I need to report back anything that I learn about Melodee to the authorities. So I was compelled to do so. I work in the field. So if I get, either a direct or indirect order from a law enforcement agent or a judge or someone, I'm going to comply. So I did. She started getting paranoid about everything that she was telling me. And then she built up in her head. I mean, I'm in my office right now. She built up in her head that I'm not a paralegal, that I'm not a legal document assistant, that I'm not a process server, that I don't have an office. So she was basically saying that I was lying, that she can't trust me, that I'm going to go to jail for fraud because I'm pretending to have an office, and that basically I was working as an undercover police officer. So that's what you were hearing in that illegal recording, by the way. I didn't authorize to be recorded, nor did I know I was being recorded. But that's partially what you were hearing is basically her just having a paranoia meltdown.
But it's interesting for us to learn that the police pulled you over to say, we need your help because this woman won't talk to anyone, but she talked to you. I wanted to just recap really quickly. You mentioned that she's got an older daughter who's 22 years old who was taken away from her?
Yeah, roughly 22, give or take, early 20s. I do believe her name is Destiny. And if you're watching Destiny, sorry for saying your name. Yeah, so I knew her when she was little as well. And she was taken away when she was little because, Ashley's had mental health struggles since I've known her. So that contributed to Destiny being taken. And I'm not sure what happened with Melodee the first time around.
Wow.
But, she was, that is what it is. And that's what I thought was happening this time. I didn't think when I first made contact that Melodee was actually.
Sorry for interrupting. Has Destiny been helpful at all in trying to talk to her mother, or will her mother speak to her daughter, Destiny?
I have no idea if Destiny has tried to reach out. If she hasn't, I can't blame her. But Ashley herself has said that she would rather Melodee be in a group home or foster home than to be anywhere near either side of her family.
Wow. Okay, a couple of other big questions. She was asking on the audio tape for her keys. She wanted you to, quote, give her keys back. What did that mean?
So a few days prior, she actually had me go make copies of her house keys and her storage keys, which those are the two places that were raided. She wanted me to bring them back to her that night because she thought I kept the originals.
What?
Versus the copies. But she was prepping to be arrested for Melodee's disappearance. So she wanted me to have copies of her keys. So once she's arrested, I can come empty out her storage in her house so she doesn't lose all of her belongings.
Wow.
Okay, speaking of belongings, we've been watching multiple occasions where she's packing, she's receiving flat boxes.
Okay, let me stop right here because you guys asked for that C&D. I'm going to show you guys a screenshot. And this is out of the Facebook group. See if I can remove this real quick. Let me share this with you guys. Y'all can see it in my screen here in a little bit. This is from the Facebook group. And it says, let's see. Can I zoom in? Nope, I cannot. Okay. See if I can make myself smaller. So this is what he was sending out to people, y'all. Who believes him now? This was, I can't tell you the date that I saw it because it was, well, it's probably the date of the screenshot. Hold up, let me see. Date of the screenshot is November 15th, okay? And it says, November 11th, this letter serves as a formal notice to immediately cease and desist from publishing, distributing, or otherwise promoting a video content, statements, or claims about me on TikTok or any other public platform. You're currently posting such content under the TikTok account. And it was a TikToker who released it, by the way, including videos that identify me and present statements that are false, harmful, and portray as factual, causing ongoing personal and professional reputational damage. Your conduct implicates violations of California law for defamation and slander, false statements causing injuries, invasion of privacy, civil harassment, and warranting injunctive relief. You are hereby required to remove all videos and statements. So again, he gave a statement to media, and then he wanted people to remove that. I don't know, right? He wrote it himself, Vicky. Refrain from posting any further content about me. Cease promoting or amplifying narratives. Stop encouraging public engagement. Failure to comply, filing a civil defamation and damages claim, seeking a civil harassment, issuing preservation and subpoenas to TikTok for accounts and content history, pursuing all applicable attorney fees and costs. This letter serves you as a notice, opportunity to take a corrective action. Okay, so it was a warning. Do not contact me except to confirm compliance. Do not reference me again in your content. Do not continue publication of my name, image, or identity. And then he has this information there, y'all. So Tyler was like, I don't know. He gave an interview, and he is literally a process server. And he gave an interview to a publication, which then people had questions like, what's up? What's going on? What's the deal? But nowadays, anybody, I can write a cease and desist. Anybody can write a cease and desist nowadays. You don't have to have a lawyer to write one. Matter of fact, it'll probably save you money if you can write it yourself. So there's that. And folks wonder why people have trust issues. Yeah, he wrote it himself, but I mean, if he's a process server, I think he works for like a law office too. So it's not like he doesn't have any resources. I'm sure he could probably ask somebody. Let's get into this again.
Then she's carrying what looked to be packed boxes out to a waiting vehicle, and then eventually in another video out to a U-Haul truck, appliances, moving boxes. Do you have any idea what's in those boxes, Tyler?
Yeah, it's all of Melodee stuff. All those boxes were ordered from Walmart. I was there when she was ordering them. She's claiming it's stuff that Melodee outgrew, which makes no sense because she was asking me if my nieces could benefit from the clothing, and my nieces are Melodee's age. So for her to say that Melodee has outgrew them, but she wants to give them to my nieces, makes no sense.
There's something else that she's been receiving a lot of packages at that door. Do you have any idea, other than the Walmart boxes, what she's been receiving?
She gets various things. She gets all of her food mailed to her. She gets all of her toiletries mailed to her. Her wigs are mailed to her. Her clothes. She's told me she has a shopping addiction.
Wow.
Which I'm not sure where she gets all the money from.
She doesn't work.
And that's something else is the last time I was there, I want to say on that Tuesday, she was deleting her Amazon account, her email account, and her bank account. She was switching that stuff because she thought it was being hacked or traced. So she was freaking out about that as well.
Interesting.
There was something about a reference made.
Oh my God, you guys. This poll, I asked, is Tyler credible? 43%, 42% said yes, and 57% said no. Y'all are not having it with Tyler. You guys are like, no, half of you guys are somewhat half are like just not having it with him. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, please. And thank you. Really appreciate it. Nancy Luna, thank you so much for becoming a member. Shout out to Nancy Luna. Lurky Lou-Hoo, thank you for becoming a member. Maggie, thank you for becoming a member. And Robin Russell, Thank you for becoming a member. We got new members, guys. Shout out to the new members. Let's get back to this video.
To Casey Anthony. Can you explain what comment
There you
she
go.
made about Casey Anthony?
Yes. So she said she acknowledged that people were comparing her to Casey Anthony, but she like joked and was like, well, at least I'm not out partying. So you're not out partying, but look what Casey Anthony was accused of. Like, do you not realize what you just said? And like,
did she ever say, Tyler, that I didn't kill Melodee? I mean, did you ever ask her point blank, is Melodee alive or dead? Did she ever?
Yeah, anybody that makes Casey Anthony relevant, I would have a red flag for. Yeah, I anybody makes Casey Anthony relevant today, there would be a red flag for me too. And exactly, Eternity. Why is he providing all this info if he wants C&Ds, if he wants people to be quiet? So I think that recording that landed in the court hearing did not really sit well with him. So he's like, well, now I got to come back and give you everybody the information that I have. I'm hoping this is the information that he gave to law enforcement. Infamous, thank you for being a member for freaking 2 years. Thank you, Infamous. Shout out to Infamous OG member James. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you. Let's keep going.
Say one way or the other?
No, I did ask her, and I flat out told her. I believe it was on either that. So this all happened with her locking me in on that Wednesday, I believe. And I think it was on that Tuesday that I had asked her. I go, everyone is saying, you're still not giving me the full truth. I go, you're not talking to law enforcement. Everyone is saying that you either trafficked Melodee or you killed her. I go, which one is it? And she starts doing her fake crying, acting like she can believe that I asked her such a question. But she never.
But she wouldn't answer.
She never answered the question.
The things that she did tell you, Tyler, I was just going to say the things that she did tell you about this couple she met at the zoo with whom she dropped Melodee in Utah, doesn't have their phone, doesn't have their email, doesn't have their names, doesn't have contact information, but that it was all planned for a minor surgery, which, as you said, was an outpatient surgery. Do you believe any of it?
I don't believe any of it. I think, like, I don't believe any of it at all. And just to clarify, she kept saying, how do you know I left her in Utah? She didn't say she dropped her off in Utah. So that's very distinguishable. She didn't say I dropped her off with a couple in Utah. She said, how do you know I left her in Utah? So that's distinguishable. But then she like switched the subject as if she never even said that. So, and it's one of those things with her, you don't want to try to like interrogate her and keep going on that subject, because then she'll say like she's upset or that she's getting triggered. She loved that word triggered.
How did he remain friends with her for so long? I mean, he's talking about he's been friends with her since the first child was removed. Am I hearing this correctly? Well, we don't even know Utah. Now it's like a change of story. This is so weird, you guys. It really is.
So with someone like that, you don't want to upset them or trigger them, especially if you're in their house. So
Tyler, you're the only person who's spoken with her. I mean, she won't speak with the police. She won't speak with Melodee's grandparents on the paternal side. We have no idea if she's spoken with her own mother. Do you know if she's spoken with her own mother?
I know she has not, and she wants nothing to do with her mother at all.
Well, being the only person who Ashley Buzzard has spoken with, particularly about this little girl, Melodee, do you believe that Melodee is alive?
That's such a tough question, because I don't want to believe that she could have hurt Melodee at all, because I think that she does love Melodee in her own way. But the fact that she won't give me a clear yes or no answer makes me extremely uncomfortable. So I can't say one way or another, but
well, it makes you wonder what happened to the first child. Is there, it does make you wonder what happened, why the first child was taken away. Now, the first child looks to be 22 now, so she's older. Okay.
I think that she should have been found by now if she was alive.
Tyler, I cannot thank you enough for being so candid, for talking with us tonight, for helping the police to get any information they can about this little girl, and for going through what you've been through. I'm going to repeat it. I don't believe the judge made the right decision about what I heard on that tape. I don't believe anybody says the words, "I would like to leave now," twice, if they don't have the freedom to just get up and leave and say goodbye.
It was actually 3 times. Like, I told her twice as she was staring at me. Like, I told your producer, she looked like the Annabelle doll.
I would like to leave once, twice, then leave. I guess I was, when I heard the recording, to me, it sounded like, okay, so go. Like, she didn't say, you can't leave. And I mean, I'm not in the room, okay? She could have altered the audio, but I heard that and I said, she's not telling you can't go. He said, I would like to leave. But she's not saying you can't go, like, you can't, I'm going to do this if you go or anything like that. I'm confused.
Just like the way she was looking at me with her and fake crying. She's like laughing while she's crying with an open box cutter next to her. And granted, she never said she was going to cut me with a box cutter, and she made sure to say for her performance that she wasn't threatening me. So, and she never physically did, but it was her demeanor, the way she was compared to how I knew her from the past. You know, she stood in front of me when I was going to go walk past her, and she locked multiple locks. When I asked her for the third time to leave at the door, which you could hear on the audio, you could hear the keys rattling, finally letting me out, but you didn't hear me say, "I'm ready to go now, Ashley," for the third time. So under California law, the moment I asked her the first time to leave and she didn't immediately open the door, that's false imprisonment.
And he stayed friends with her for how many years? Like, she never did this before? I have a lot of questions. I don't know. But you know what? That's just my opinion. I don't know, man.
I mean, you can ask O.J. Simpson, who spent 9 years in prison because of not allowing two men to leave a hotel room that he was collecting his belongings, robbing them. And that was the kidnapping that led to 9 years in prison. Again, Tyler Brewer, I cannot thank you enough for being candid with us. Let's both pray together, and everyone who's watching, that our suspicions are wrong and that maybe Melodee is perhaps alive tonight. But thank you again for sharing all of these stories with us. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me, and I'm hoping the best for Melodee. And that was my goal. You know, find Melodee. That's all I want to do is help find Melodee. That's the nation's goal, find Melodee. And I also want to tell you my condolences for your dog, Atlas. We have a dog rescue, and that's one of the reasons why I reached out. And I liked the way you spoke about the verdict, and I appreciate you. And you're the only person I've done an interview with, and the only person I'm planning to do one with.
Cool.
Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate it. It's been a hard week, so I really do appreciate that. And we'll speak again soon.
Y'all let me know what you guys think in the comments about Mr. Tyler's interview. Like I said, I just found it in bad taste that he would just be sending C&Ds everywhere. You know, again, and I'm glad that he spoke, maybe providing some insight to the things that we don't know. Clearly, there's a lot that we don't know, right? So I'm not shading him for that, but it's like, it doesn't sit well when you do all that. Okay, perfect. Okay. This is, you said, I think Tyler should close his mouth. There you go. The PI said that Ashley has done this trip before. Maybe. Allegedly for, who knows, man? I mean, sometimes we don't know people. But apparently she was preparing for a surgery. What that surgery was, who knows? So much so that she felt like she couldn't leave her daughter with anybody. And it doesn't sound like it was a surgery for like the whole day and stuff like that. But I don't know, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me shout out because I don't want to get behind. Robin Russell, thank you so much for becoming a member. Shout out to you, Robin Russell. Jamie Cook, new member. Thank you. October 50 baby gifted a membership. Thank you so much, love. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button and hyping. I got to remind, not only do I have to remind people to like the video, you got to hype the video. It's another thing to remember. Hit the like button and hype the video. Thank you. So we're going to be following up, of course, on that. There was an interview. We're going to move on to D4VD. There was an interview that LAPD did with CBS News. Now, not only do we have articles and people and LA Times, we have an actual recording interview or whatever from CBS News on D4VD and the things that they're discrediting. Now, TMZ went live as well, and I actually screen recorded just in case that they remove it. I screen recorded their interaction and conversation about D4VD. They are doubling down. That's what TMZ is doing. Let's get into this, and then we're going to get into TMZ.
Setting some details straight in the very high-profile case of Celeste Rivas. She's the teen found dead in a car belonging to singer David. Investigators have now blocked the LA County Medical Examiner from releasing her autopsy. CBS LA's Jeff Nguyen with the new developments tonight.
The LAPD is pushing back against what it calls false reporting in the death investigation of Celeste Rivas. And tonight, investigators are still working to figure out the cause of her death. The commanding officer of LAPD's elite robbery homicide division says he's disappointed by what he calls misinformation from TMZ that's been picked up by other outlets in the death investigation of Celeste Rivas. The 14-year-old's body was found in the trunk of a Tesla belonging to singer David, whose legal name is David Anthony Burke. TMZ is reporting Rivas's body had been frozen. Captain Scott Williams disputed that and other reports on the case during an interview with KNX News Radio's Emily Valdez.
They're reporting that Celeste's body was frozen when it was discovered is untrue. Celeste was not decapitated. So I'm not sure exactly who their source is that's giving them this information.
The car was found abandoned in the Hollywood Hills in September.
So now you got a direct statement. Okay, well, you had a direct statement on that People magazine, or excuse me, not People, not magazine. I always call it People magazine because it was just a magazine. I don't know if they still have a magazine. Anyways, so they had it on the People publication website. Then there was also a direct statement to the LA Times. Now you have an interview, or at least a recording or statement directly from, is this the chief guy? This is Captain, excuse me. He's the one, I've seen him in many cases. He's the one that like deals with the robbery and homicide part. But yeah, this is a direct verbal statement now.
Celeste's body was frozen when it was discovered is untrue. Celeste was not decapitated. So I'm not sure exactly who their source is that's giving them this information.
The car was found abandoned in the Hollywood Hills in September. Williams also says detectives have no evidence Rivas's body was taken to Santa Barbara County for dismemberment.
Disappointing to me because all of this misinformation that's being put out there, it just creates additional work for my investigators that they have to do in order to get to the truth of the matter.
The LAPD has obtained a court order forbidding the LA County Medical Examiner's Office from releasing all details in its investigation into the teen's death. The ME took the unusual step of criticizing the decision Monday with a statement.
Yes, they
saying
did.
in part, the practice of security holds is virtually unheard of in other counties and has not proven to improve outcomes in the legal system. We are dedicated to serving our community with full transparency. However, the law precludes us from doing so while the court order remains in this case.
That is literally unprecedented.
Defense attorney Mark Garagos is not involved in this case. He says the ME's statement signals tension with law enforcement.
Yeah. Mark Garagos, he's the one that gave all those details. Oh my God. But he's not directly involved in this case, just like he wasn't involved in the Diddy trial. But anyway, let me stop, y'all.
If there is no arrest, I think it's going to cast a suspicion and a pall over the investigation. And if there is an arrest, it's going to be fodder for the defense. And so either way, it's a lose-lose.
The LAPD says the security hold was not done to undermine transparency, instead to protect the integrity of the investigation in the pursuit of justice. In the meantime, we have also reached out to David's attorneys, but we are still waiting to hear back. Reporting in downtown LA, Jeff Nguyen, CBS LA. So that's direct from CBS LA. Now we're going to go stroll over here. This is interesting how they address this. Okay, let's get into this. I think their live is almost done, so hopefully I won't get in trouble for restreaming, but we gonna take a risk. Okay, do me a favor, hit the like button. Okay, Vicky J, yeah, so how is this relevant to all of this? You keep saying that he has a husband. I don't know if Neo the Asian has a husband. Okay, like what are we supposed to do with that information? How is that relevant to Celeste? That's what I want to know. You keep dropping that. I keep seeing the message, and like I said, I look at the chat, y'all. I need you to tell me, how is that relevant to this? I don't know what that means. Okay, so he has a husband. Was he part of the situation here that happened? I don't know. Was he? It's not. I don't think it is. But I mean, unless he's somehow part of the tour group, let me know. Let's get into this. Oh, shit. No, they didn't. Did they remove the video? Oh, they privated the video. Didn't I tell you guys? They privated the video. Hold up. Hold up, guys. I got a screen record. They privated it, but I got a screen recording of it. They privated it, but I got a screen recording of it. So I just need to edit it out a little bit so I can get to that part.
Okay, give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. They literally privated. It says they privated. I was like, something told me. I'm like, let me screen record this just in case. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. Maybe they were like, yeah, they deleted it. Well, it's not deleted. It's private. So there's a difference. When it's deleted, it'll say like removed by uploader or something like that. But I get notifications on because I screen recorded it on my phone. So I'm gonna have to crop a little bit of this because okay. Let's upload it. It's a 10-minute clip. 10-minute clip. It's being uploaded right now. I need you guys to give me it's gonna take a couple minutes. Unless they've hold up. Let me do this. It's uploading. It's cropping real quick. Something told me to record it. Let me see what's going on. TMZ. They're still live streaming. It says that they're still live streaming. I don't know if this is the same. Oh, see? They privated. This is what they did. Because I have the original now. It's uploading, y'all. Give me a second. They privated the last video and then they did a part 2. And they started 54 minutes ago. So this is a new stream. Okay? All right. So 20%. 20%, y'all. It's editing. I didn't know that they were going to private it, but guess what? I got it. So it's all good. I just needed to crop my notifications because y'all don't need to see the people that contact me. Hurry up. Let's see. No, they didn't block me. If they didn't. Even if they did, I'd still be able to see their streams. I don't think they blocked me. I just don't participate in the chat. They started a second stream and they privated the first. And the first stream is the one that has the D4VD updates. So I was while I was watching this on my computer, I screen recorded the stream that they privated. So I got it. Did they say why they did? I wasn't watching till the end, so I don't know. I stopped it. Let's see. You said Harvey been looking rough. 42%. We're waiting, y'all. You know what I find interesting though? While we wait, there's still no articles from TMZ regarding what the captain said. Wait, 2 hours ago. Here it is. Okay, never mind. I lied. They did an article 2 hours ago. Celeste Rivas, medical examiner sources dispute LAPD. Body was partially frozen. What? Let me read this slowly, y'all, because I'm slow sometimes, okay? And I'm not medicated. This is an article from 2 hours ago. Celeste Rivas, medical examiner sources dispute LAPD. Body was partially frozen. So TMZ has a source with LAPD, and they also have a source with the ME, okay? The ME made a statement yesterday. They didn't even talk about the body in terms of whether it was frozen. They talked about the fact that they had to remove her information out of there. So now we're supposed to believe that they have a source with the medical examiner who basically told them that LAPD got it wrong. She was actually frozen. But the statement from the ME does not talk about her body state. They just talked about the fact that they had to remove her information from the website because of a court order. They didn't even go into details about the state of her body. And they're not going to because of a court order. So now they're expecting you and everybody else to believe that they got a source from ME who basically says, well, her body was actually partially frozen. They're using that to double down on the allegations that they put out all last week. LAPD has come out officially to dispute TMZ's story that the body of Celeste Rivas was partially frozen when it was examined, but one source has doubled down. It's like the battle of the sources, y'all. Okay, 96%. It's coming up. A source connected to LAPD court, county medical examiners insists Celeste Rivas' body was partially frozen when it was discovered inside of a... Okay, here we go. Hold up, y'all. I got to upload it on my... Nope. See if I can upload it on my drive. Hopefully I get sound. Give me one sec, y'all. Trying to hurry up and do this. Okay, upload. Don't take too long. A source connected to the LA County Medical Examiners insists Celeste's body was partially frozen when it was discovered inside of a car registered to D4VD. And this is in square contradiction to what the LAPD is saying on the record. What record? According to TMZ, we don't even have this man as a suspect on paper. So what record are they talking about? It's interesting. In one document from the medical examiner, it reads, the decedent was not live scanned due to waterlogged fingers. Translation, the ME was unable to fingerprint Celeste's body. So they have ME documents, some of which we are not allowed to have as the public. The medical examiner has put a security hold on the case. As the LAPD continues to investigate, TMZ broke the story. Although the ME has not determined a cause of death, the LAPD is viewing the case as a homicide and D4VD as a suspect. We're told there's a second suspect as well, someone who helped in the dismemberment of the body. As we reported, our sources say that the ME may not be able to determine the cause or manner of death because of the state of the body was in when it was discovered. LAPD sources tell TMZ the relationship between the ME and the LAPD has been stained over the last few years. Lord have mercy. I'm waiting for this thing to upload, guys. One sec, guys. Oh my God, this 10-minute clip is taking forever. This is TMZ article pointing towards in D4VD's favor. I don't know, man. What's the motive? That's the question. It's the ME that didn't want to seal the report. That's right. The ME did not want to seal the report. You're right. On the record, it means the information can be quoted. Their name can be used. The statement is public. Okay. Sounds like the ME is trying to figure out who leaked incorrect information by sealing all records. But the thing is now this is a shit show. You got an ME, if you are to believe what they said. You have an ME that is now leaking information to TMZ. Then you have a source from the LAPD. I don't believe anybody. I don't know what to think at this point. Now, I do know that, LAPD will lie because that's what they do. That's what they do in their investigations. Why are you taking forever? Hold up, y'all. Literally, this is going to be the holdup for everything. Maybe I can airdrop it. The thing is I hope that there's sound. Hold up. Okay. Let's go to downloads. It might be quicker this way. Yep, it's quicker this way. I just don't know if you guys will be able to hear the sound. Okay, it's airdropping quicker now. Yeah, so who do we believe? I don't know, man. I think at this point, the only way to know who's telling the truth is truly to wait until there's a charging document, if any of this information is disclosed. Maybe there's a trial. If there is a trial, maybe it's just so soon to tell. And because she is a minor, I don't even know what will be disclosed. That's the other thing that people have to realize. Okay. Hold up. I don't know if the sound will work, but hopefully it will. Let's see. Okay. Remove this. This is the clip. But I don't know. Put a one in the chat. Oh, hold up. I think there's a way to share the sound. Let me share screen. Okay. Allow. Be careful, share your audio screen. If you have a guest, if they hear themselves, you're sharing everything. Okay, got it. All right, I'm gonna try to play it. Let me know if you guys hear it, okay? Let's go back a little bit over here. Put a 1 in the chat if you hear it.
Assumption that, well, she was allowed to get his pay.
Yeah,
she was allowed to. Surviving
No,
spouse.
it's exactly that.
That there's been tension between.
Oh yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
You actually hear it.
A
Okay,
bad-
good.
Her
husband had died.
Okay, so I had to like rewind it because I kept missing the part where they were talking, but I got it right when they were talking about it. So give it a couple minutes, okay, guys?
So
She was collecting her
getting
husband's
his
pension.
and then,
Sorry.
Well, she was allowed to get his pay.
Yeah,
she was allowed to.
surviving
No,
spouse.
it's exactly. That's exactly
She was
what it
allowed
was.
to, and then
Yeah.
wow, was fabulous.
Crazy. Do you think will he have to pay that $61,000 back?
That's for starters.
Yeah. First thing is you give it.
Nurse Janice, you can't see it because it's cropped. It's cropped on purpose, guys, because I get my notifications. That's why y'all can't see it. So you won't be able to see it, but you'll be able to hear it.
Money back. What we're not going to
I don't know. Like, all right, let you off with a warning this time. You can't get away
Okay,
with that.
David. Now.
Grazie.
People are wanting you to talk about that.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about this. So the plot thickens with David.
It's okay.
Well, we'll do it on the show. You'll see.
We're
we don't
about
have
to
to
do
re-
it right now.
So we don't have to repeat ourselves. Here we
That
go.
is a good idea.
Who's
So
doing
because
this?
screenwriters are listening to the Mrs. Doubtfire story. That would be a good Netflix special.
Who is doing this?
Would you
Oh.
play? Would you play?
The Mrs.
Graziella?
Doubtfire. Graziella.
Starring Charles as Graziella.
It's Graziella Dello.
Okay, let's do this.
Hurry up. Hurry up.
Okay.
Okay, what
Can
happened?
we?
Here we
I
go.
can't remember if we did say this already on the show. Acknowledge.
No, we haven't.
That there has been tension between.
Oh yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah. But we should start with the captain.
Right.
Okay. Got it.
From the pull out from the captain.
Yeah. No, pull it from the dock. Okay.
Oh, got it.
Here we go.
An LAPD captain is disputing part of a story that we broke over the weekend. A story about David, the singer David, and the body that was found in his Tesla, that body of Celeste Rivas. And the part of our story that we broke over the weekend was that the remains of Celeste were partially frozen when they were found in the Tesla. This was back in early September, first week in September, when they discovered this, when David's car had been towed to an LA tow yard. Well, the LAPD captain is saying that the body was not frozen.
So herein lies the issue. We have a very well-connected source connected to the medical examiner, the LA County medical examiner, which currently has the body. And that source has doubled, tripled, quadrupled, and sextupled down actually now, saying that the body was indeed partially frozen when it was received by law enforcement. So that's kind of interesting, but the medical examiner is just telling a different story, or at least the sources we have, and we have sources in all camps in this, there's a conflict here.
We've heard that there's been this conflict between LAPD and the medical examiner.
There's been tension for several years, but this is kind of interesting. One of the documents at the LA County Medical Examiner's office has an interesting statement. This has to do with trying to fingerprint Celeste's body. It says, the decedent was not live scanned due to waterlogged fingers. Well, that's kind of interesting.
Right. Why would the fingers
be waterlogged?
Waterlogged. Well, certainly if the body had been frozen for quite some time and then is sitting in a bag in this Tesla out in the blazing hot summer sun, yeah, you would imagine that there's going to be some water in that bag.
So there's, you've got to kind of like look at the big picture. So we told
Again, they privated that video. I screen recorded this. That's why we have it. I'm sure they probably cropped it up and made a video about it. Okay. Here's the deal. So now it's become, well, guess what, guys? Our other source from the ME, first it was the LAPD who said, all this information, nothing on the ME. And now they say, well, we have another source, and ME has given us this information. How are people supposed to expect to believe any of this shit? I don't know, but okay.
That even though there has not been a cause or manner of death determined by the medical examiner, and there may not be because of the state of the body, the LAPD is operating under the assumption that this is a homicide and that David is a suspect. And there is an accomplice, they believe, somebody who helped dismember the body. Now, there is a mysterious trip that becomes really important in this case, we're told, that David took to Santa Barbara in the spring of this year, in the middle of the night in a remote area of Santa Barbara County, spent several hours there. We are told the following, that and this is based on sources, that the body wasn't buried, but the strong insinuation that we got was that.
Oh my God. Shout out to Nurse Janice. Waterlog is because she's been melting in the heat. There's condensation. So just because there's a waterlog doesn't mean that the body's frozen, Nurse Janice. This is why I love my nurses. Shout out to my medical people in the chat, my doctors, my lawyers as well, but my nurses. Is this part of it too? I would think that it'd be melting, right? So why is there, it keeps going, y'all. I was able to capture a good 10 minutes of their thoughts. Is it condensation? This is why she's melting, and it's not because she was frozen. And let's be very real. Okay. TMZ has been correct about a couple things here. Okay, let's just be very real. I'm not taking that away from them. Please note that. Please note that, right? But it's okay to be not correct about things and then just own the fact that it's possible that our source is wrong, guys. It's possible, right? Maybe our source got it wrong. No, but instead they bring up another source that's got nothing to do with the LAPD that's in the ME's office. So now they got somebody else in the ME. Okay.
Where it was dismembered. So what happened to the body between the spring, if this is true, between the spring of this year and September when the body was discovered in the car?
Right. I mean, if this just a theory, I think that it would make sense if they went there just to not have a mess, and that's when they dismembered it, and then it was in a freezer for a long period of time, and then
It almost points to it must have been frozen. And I understand the LAPD captain is disputing this, but our sources insist 100% it was frozen, and that completely makes sense. Partially frozen when the body came to the ME's office.
It also makes sense with the state of decomposition, right? I mean, from spring to when it's discovered in September, when the body is discovered, they say it's in a state of decomposition, but the waterlogging, all that stuff indicates frozen at some point, whether frozen when they actually pull it out or not, because the state of decomposition of a human body from the spring to the summer would be really pronounced. You wouldn't see fingers and things like that, even to live scan in the first place.
Yep.
I don't even want to go as far as saying, yeah, we know it's frozen, because we don't. This is what we've been told. We've got sources, in the investigation, and we have told you appropriately, I believe, what the nature of our source is in connection to this.
We know, but we don't even want to say that anymore, guys. We don't. Okay.
But I don't know how you put the dots together, connect the dots of spring, say it's April, May, June, July, August. That's 4 months. What happened to the body during those 4 months?
By the way, the 4 warmest months.
Yeah, exactly.
In Southern California.
And it would start to smell. The fact that
the odor was there, though, according to the tow shop.
The odor was
right,
there.
no, at the tow shop.
Notice how they're not saying melting, condensation. This is a thing, right? She was 71 pounds. That's what they said. Notice how they're not even mentioning that, but okay. Joe Mama, thank you so much for being a member for 2 months. Ahmad, thank you so much for being a member for 7 months. I want to make sure I don't get too far off. Thank you guys for your support. Oh my God. And she was wrapped in a plastic bag, right? The black bag. Okay.
Right,
Because it was
at the tow shop, yeah. Right, but I think, remember how long the Tesla was parked on the street? I think that it would have started emitting some sort of, I mean, I'm not a scientist, but some sort of smell before it was eventually towed away.
And obviously, the one thing we can't explain is, how does the body end up in that car? How does the body end up in the Tesla?
How, I mean, obviously someone placed it there, but we can't, why they would have done it.
It's really dumb.
And the body on top of that was also a process. It was dismembered. There's a lot of factors that go into complicating this issue a lot, right? There's the potential freezing. There's the parts all over the place. It's a very, very sad story. At the end of the day, some of these you see like what belongings she had, what she was wearing, things like that.
Right.
So the one thing that
body parts all over the place. Oh my God. Like, listen to how they describe this. Hold up, y'all. Did I miss that?
Eventually towed away.
And obviously, the one thing we can't explain is, how does the body end up in that car?
Yeah.
How does the body end up
And why?
in the Tesla?
Yeah.
And
How? I mean, obviously, someone placed it there, but we can't.
It
Why
doesn't-
they would have done it?
It's really
is-
dumb.
And the body on top of that
But
was
he has sources.
also processed, or it was dismembered. There's a lot of factors that go into complicating this issue a lot, right? There's the potential freezing, there's the parts all over the place. It's a very, very sad story. At the end of the day, some of these you see like what belongings she had, what she was wearing, things like that.
Right.
So, the one thing that I was told by one of the sources is don't necessarily use logic to try to understand this.
I keeps
think you can.
ringing
Yeah.
in my head. I remember when you said that, and it's been ringing in my head ever since finding out that the source said that the body was partially frozen.
This is where I heard we're not there yet. It's going to come up. The question that she asked, whether there was somebody that asked the question, well, does the Emmy still have the body? Because of the fact that, like, did they actually bury her? I think that they did. I think that they just collected tissue. That's more plausible. That Celeste is buried, and what they have is just tissue, and of course, evidence, photographs and stuff like that. That's my thought.
Then that leads me to why was it placed in this car? And I just kept hearing that in my head that
Yeah.
a lot of this, there's part of this that is not going to make sense.
Right.
Hi, my name is Brianna Nunley from Orlando, Florida. When I heard him say this isn't going to make logical sense, that makes a lot of sense to me as like an independent pop culture journalist, because when you hear the way that fans are speculating about this death and this loss for the family, a lot of it goes back to the lyrics, his music videos, and how he makes it very clear in his songs what he did to her. But unfortunately, when we're reporting this in the ethical and appropriate way, we can't say the obvious that everyone is already saying online.
Yeah, there's a difference between what people online are thinking and theorizing and what the actual facts are, or even just the information that we can report. So
Now that's the most correct thing that he just said out of this whole thing is that right there.
two different things.
Okay.
Somebody wants to know, why do we know about this conflict between LAPD and medical examiner? Their relationship should never affect the process of an investigation.
Well, I'm sorry, say that again.
They said, why do we know about this conflict between the Emmy and the LAPD? Their relationship should not affect an investigation.
I don't think anybody's saying that it's
Like, are
impacting
they?
I don't think they share in what I'm told is that it did in the Matthew Perry case, for example. I was told, and they were not happy about this, that the LAPD found out about the medical examiner's cause of death, not because the ME called them, which would have been pretty much protocol. They found out from the media, which pissed them off.
You know that to this point, yesterday, the ME's office actually announced that there is, it was weird, they said there's a security hold now on all information related to this case, and went so far as to say the medical examiner would prefer to be as open as possible, but the security hold has been placed. They didn't point the finger directly at LAPD,
But clearly.
they clearly,
Yeah.
so that's why it's
So
there.
her family didn't have her body at the funeral or services or things like that, right?
That is a good question.
And
I
somebody
don't know.
wants to know.
And I remember that when they had the funeral service, I was wondering
Mike down,
if they
please.
had given her remains to the family.
But it seems that they're
and I
still
don't know that.
doing active investigation. Who knows? Who knows?
I mean, right now they're what we're waiting on, what the ME's office is waiting on, is the toxicology results. They could have done that testing already. They've already taken the tissue, so they could have given the family remains.
Ugh,
They
it
don't
gives me
know,
the
but
chills.
it's just
So terrible.
awful
It's so awful.
what
Hi,
that family's
welcome.
gone through, and which is why everybody wants
To know.
justice.
Yeah.
Right. To find
Yep.
out what happened to Celeste.
It is really sad. Ugh. I know. It makes
Yes,
me
it does
feel
give you chills.
sick and gross. Nasty. Everyone
We'll
wants
see.
everyone wants Harvey to have a turkey burger
I
for
think
lunch today.
they want him to have what?
Turkey burger. He's not gonna be happy. He's never happy. What are you
He's
are you
had a
gonna
lot
get the
of
food
fish
truck,
lately, so
Alphon?
it's time to switch it up.
Are you gonna eat the food truck that's here today? There's a Thanksgiving food truck.
Maybe.
Oh, get it on camera.
Only got
next
3
time.
today.
You think I don't know your game now?
This is the only way
You
to
think I
get
haven't
you.
figured out your game?
Okay,
We
but
have to
okay.
hold you accountable.
You think I
But
haven't
just
figured
hear
out
me
your
out.
That was the turkey burger talk. Yeah, that last part was very interesting. Let me go back a little bit so y'all can hear what they said about the body, okay? Yeah. It's just, yes, they started talking about food and turkey burgers and stuff like that. It gives me chills. Are we going to have a turkey burger? I'm like, what? Yo, this is like crazy work.
And what the actual facts are,
Hold up.
or even just the information that we can report. So, two different things.
Okay.
Somebody wants to know, why do we know about this conflict between LAPD and medical examiner? Their relationship should never affect the process of an investigation.
What? I'm sorry. Say that again.
They said, why
It
do
should-
we know about this conflict between the ME and the LAPD? Their relationship should not affect an investigation.
I don't think anybody's saying that it's
Like, are they?
impacting the.
I don't think they share in what I'm told is that it did in the Matthew Perry case, for example. I was told, and they were not happy about this, that the LAPD found out about the medical examiner's cause of death, not because the ME called them, which would have been pretty much protocol. They found out from the media, which pissed them off.
You know that to this point, yesterday, the ME's office actually announced that there is. It's weird. They said there's a security hold now on all information related to this case, and went so far as to say the medical examiner would prefer to be as open as possible, but the security hold has been placed. They didn't point the finger directly at LAPD,
But clearly.
they clearly
Yes.
that's why.
So
Yeah.
her family didn't have her body at the funeral or services or things like that, right?
This is what she asked. Now, I personally do believe that she was buried, except tissue was collected, right? Like they did all this stuff. Then they released the body for her. That's my thought. I don't know.
That is a good question.
And
I
somebody
don't know.
wants to know.
And I remember that when they had the funeral service, I was wondering
Mike
if
down,
they
please.
had given her remains to the family.
But it seems that they're
and I
still
don't know that.
doing active investigation. Who knows? Who knows?
I mean, right now they're what we're waiting on, what the ME's office is waiting on, is the toxicology results. They could have done that testing already. They've already taken the tissue, so they could have given the family remains.
It
They don't
gives me
know.
the chills.
It's
It's so terrible. So awful.
what that family's gone through, and which is why everybody wants
To know.
justice,
Yeah.
right? To find out what happened to Celeste.
It is really sad. Ugh. I know. It makes
Yes,
me
it does
feel
give you chills.
sick and gross. Nasty.
Okay.
Everyone wants her to have a turkey burger for lunch today.
Then they talk about turkey burgers after saying nasty. Okay. To me, what Nurse Janice said is more plausible. The condensation would have caused a waterlog, right? That could have been versus being frozen. That to me makes more sense, honestly, than anything else. But I'm not an expert. Nurse Janice kind of put that out there, so it's something to consider. Maybe this is why the water is a situation. Again, she was in this hot ass car, likely melting, because of the sun. But if they're saying that there's still this unexplained part, right? Of like, if she died in the spring, where was she kept? Where was she preserved? Maybe at some point she was kept in a fridge, freezer, refrigerator. We don't know, which then could have destroyed the cells to determine cause of death. That could have very well been the case. But I highly doubt that she was sitting out there for as hot as it was to then be, found frozen or partially frozen. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like that's off. This is why even I initially theorized, well, maybe there was a freezer in the Tesla. I don't know. Guys, I do have to head out because I have to go tend to baby bunny. Sitter's back and she's running around. I got to go tend to her. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I just kind of don't know what to make of this. I mean, again, y'all let me know. We covered a lot today. Okay. We covered a lot. I will see you guys on the next one. Hit the like button. Thank you again for those that supported the channel. Make sure you hype the video. And let me know. Again, TMZ is doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling. They're saying we are not changing our mind about this. Now they got a source over here in the ME's office. Lord have mercy. I don't know, man. I don't know. I could tell you that none of it makes sense. I'll see you guys later. Thank you. Yes. And I'll see you guys. I might be live tonight or tomorrow, depending on how my schedule looks, but we'll see. For any law, thank you guys. You guys have a great one. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.